The next session is going to be about Zoho. It's called the Zoho Edge, and it's going to be presented by Cynthia. She's our very own. She heads the marketing for Zoho Books, Zoho Practice, and the Practice programs at Zoho. She knows everything about Zoho's products, so feel free to go ahead and ask your questions in the questions tab. And if you're curious about how Zoho can give you and your clients a competitive edge, this is the right session for you.
Lovely afternoon, all of you. Very warm welcome to MTD Virtual Summit. If you've been with us from the morning, from the HMRC session onwards, thank you so much for spending your time with us. Why don't we say hi, a little bit of emotions, reactions, if you can give on the chat, because I'm always used to interactive session. This is kind of new to me with a webinar rather than in person. Hello, Sean. Maybe you can also say hi and where you're from on the chat, if that helps. That's a bit of networking online as well. But yeah, once again, truly my honor and pleasure to be addressing this incredible audience. We have accountants, we have bookkeepers, we have sole traders from across the UK. Thank you so much. First, thanks to all of you for joining us. And secondly, I want to thank all our speakers from HMRC, ICB, and Emily from Knowledge Accounting as well, because it's their time and expertise that means a great deal to us, right? Because we're all in this era of MTD-IT trying to figure out what's happening in the MTD-IT world, and having experts talk about it is going to help us as technology providers and as part of the ecosystem for you as well. We still have 2 more speakers after lunch, so please stay tuned for that. A little bit about me. I'm Cynthia, and I'm an engineer turned business management professional. Been in the SaaS space for about 16 plus years. And as part of my role, I'm humbled to be part of this accounting fraternity, finance fraternity. And with a little travel that I've done, I've experienced and had discussions with accountants and bookkeepers across the globe, and truly grateful for that. I have exactly about 25 minutes time, and Ramita, my moderator champ here, she's going to cut my session by then. So let me see how much justice I can do as part of this 25 minutes. So let's get into it. Moving on to the agenda, here's what we'll cover today. We will start off with a quick overview of what HMRC's MTD for income tax actually means. And then I'll introduce you to Zoho. I'm not sure how many of you know Zoho. Maybe you can say thumbs up if you know Zoho, or a smile if you don't know Zoho, because we can explain you what it is later as well. And at the heart of the session, thank you, Colin. I know you're a Zoho fan. At the heart of the session, we have Zoho Books for MTD-IT and what it does for sole traders, and importantly, why it is completely free. I'm not sure if you all know, yes, Zoho Books is completely free for sole traders. And then we will look into Zoho Practice as to how it's going to help accountants, bookkeepers, and how you can join our partner program as well. And then we'll end with maybe another poll. I'm putting you on spot, Ramita. I don't know if you have a poll ready. And there's a lot to cover, so let's move. Okay, HMRC's MTD for income tax. What does it mean, right? I know if you've been with us from the morning, you would have seen a lot of stats about HMRC. Ramita, next slide, please. Not another MTD slide. Maybe that's your thinking right now. Fair enough. Between our brilliant speakers from HMRC, ICB, and Emily, most of them have covered the basics of making tax digital for income tax. But having said that, I want to put these numbers there on the slide so that you get to know what they are and what exactly are the 3 things that you need to do. So the 3 things you need to keep in mind are digital records, quarterly updates, and final submissions, right? Let's quickly read that and then move on to the next slide. The next slide is the same, which is scopes and timelines. So the speakers have already covered about it. I'm sure, I'm fairly confident that the HMRC colleagues have already put the fear of God into you about April 2026. So rather than repeat what you've already heard, I might add as well the 3 numbers, 50K, 30K, and 20K. And of course, April 26, 27, and 28. If they're already not tattooed in your brain, I'm sure after the summit they will be. So let's keep all this in our brains and keep working towards it. And when I was checking the chat from the beginning of the session, I saw a lot of anxiety from some of them as to, I'm into a different domain. How am I going to get into MTD for IT? How am I going to understand and all of that? A little bit of anxiety, a little bit of curiousness and all of that. So I wanted to take a moment to pause and share this with you all, because we are also in the same position as you. So first, tell me in the chat, how many of you read books, and what was the last book that you read? Oh, a lot of hellos from London. Hi, Rosemary. Hi, Sarah. Anyone of you read books? What's the last one that you read? me see if somebody's. Hi, Reshma. Thanks for coming in.
I was just saying, does mine count? I read Mallory Towers to Arya.
Oh, Arya, nice. Of course it counts. Richard Osmond, Murder Club. Nice. Currently reading Profit First. Thank you. The Seven Moons of Mali. The Singularity. Thanks, Colin. How many of you have read The Atomic Habits by James Clear? Audiobook, Habitstone, crime series. Nope, Sarah's not read. It's a beautiful book. I'll definitely recommend all of you to read it. I know there's anxiety. I know there's curiousness, right? But change is inevitable, right? That's the only thing that keeps changing. So I want to pause here for a moment and revisit as to what we want to think about MTD IT really matters. James Clear has said in this Atomic Habits that you do not rise to the level of goals, but you fall to the level of your system, right? So just connecting that as an analogy to this, let's not look at MTD for IT as a compliance burden. It's very, very important for us to see that finally it is a nudge. It is a nudge for what? For telling your sole traders and us as accountants and bookkeepers managing sole traders that finally we are here to set the numbers right, to set a system in place. Because what is the goal that a sole trader will want? They will want to grow their business. They will want to stay profitable. They'll want to stay, of course, out of trouble with HMRC, right? So this is the right time where you also rise to the level of your goals and at the same time you set the system right. And who's going to help set the system right? It is you, right? I believe there are 60% of this audience accountants and bookkeepers here who are going to help sole traders. So it is you who's going to set the system right by helping your sole traders pick the right software. It's either a bridging software or the accounting software, right? So this is the right time. So let's not look at it as a compliance burden. It is going to be helpful. And if maybe now it's a little bit of anxiety, but I'm sure we're gonna all get there, and we are in this together. And that's where Zoho comes in. Okay. Now, enough yarn. Let's move on to introduction to Zoho. This is my favorite part of the session. I'm honored and grateful to be a small part of this beautiful company. And of course, a lot of you said, Zoho. So yes, Zoho is a technology company with a very, very humble background. Zero external investors. We've been fully bootstrapped and independent for over 30 years. So what does that mean? We don't focus on shareholders. We don't have to focus on shareholders. Our complete focus is on our customers and our partners, which is you as part of the ecosystem. We have over 150 million users across the globe and across 150 plus countries. And we have about 60 plus products. And I'm going to show you the product slide there as well. And these are not vanity metrics. This is exactly how we scale. And this is the trust that is built on Zoho, right? We are a mature, long-standing technology company. We've been quietly building one of the most powerful, comprehensive ecosystems out in the world. Coming to the worldwide presence that we have, the next slide is going to show you our footprint. We have offices and data centers across the globe, including right here in the UK. Our presence is there in Milton Keynes. We are not a company operating in the UK far, right? We are here invested and committed to the UK finance community for the long term. Reshma right here, she's been beautifully moderating the session from morning. She's sitting right there in the UK and EU market out there. And I'm sure you would have seen her. There you go. You would have seen her at a lot of events. She's a spokesperson for us. She has a team there. We have multiple offices in UK and EU. So we are right there and we are helping you there, the finance community. Next, coming to the Zoho product slide, right? This is another favorite slide of mine because this is a story that beautifully unfolds. From a handful of products in 2005, we've grown to a plethora of 60 plus applications. I know the slide is busy. It's a little difficult for you to interpret, but what I'm trying to convey from this slide is if you're going to split your business into different functions like sales and marketing, finance and operations, administration, collaboration for your employees and your customers, then everything is there as part of Zoho. We call ourselves the operating system that every business function needs, right? And all the metrics that you see, like I told you earlier as well, it's not a vanity metric. It's how we've scaled. So that's Zoho for you. And okay, so I've told about all of the products we have, but what is important as part of this particular group? We all belong to the finance community, and that's where the Zoho Finance Suite comes into play. So the next slide here is Zoho Finance Suite. What's more relevant for you and your clients? That is exactly what you're seeing on the slide. It's a dedicated ecosystem specifically tailored for accountants, bookkeepers, businesses in the UK. You have Zoho Books at the center, an HMRC recognized accounting platform, and you have Zoho Practice for your practice management. And around that, you have Zoho Billing for subscription-based billing. There is Zoho Expense for all the reimbursements of employees. There is Inventory for anything to do with your stock management and businesses with warehouses. There is Commerce, there's Analytics, there's Procurement, all sitting alongside it, right? And these products integrate natively with each other. There is no patchwork that we're talking about here. They natively integrate with each other and also integrate with third-party systems. So it's one ecosystem, it's one login, everything talking to everything. Now, this is the high-level Zoho Finance Suite, but today's session is going to cover about Zoho Books. Like I told you, Zoho Books is at the heart of the Zoho Finance Suite. And this is something that if you are an accountant or a bookkeeper, you offer to your sole trader, right? And when the sole trader uses Zoho Books, there is a way that they can add you as part of a user role as an accountant and a bookkeeper, which means you can manage them through Zoho Books as well. It is a go-to end-to-end accounting platform trusted by finance professionals and businesses across the globe. We present across 60 plus countries. When I say 60 plus countries, that is tax-specific countries. So that includes UK, that includes Germany, that includes India, some of the top nations in Middle East and Africa, US, Canada, Mexico, you name it. Wherever there is taxation in these 16 countries, we are there in terms of full compliance with the taxation in those countries. And especially for UK, we are fully HMRC recognized for making tax digital for income tax, for VAT, and of course, the recent one, corporation tax too. Sorry, I got distracted with the chat. Thank you for being active on the chat. Coming to Zoho Books, this is a screenshot of the dashboard. What does Zoho Books actually do? Like I told you, it's a full-featured accounting platform to keep businesses of your clients, if you will, compliant with MTD for VAT, for income tax, and also handle CIS filings. So it helps businesses manage the entire business cycle, which means right from your receivables, payables, your taxation, your reports, and all of that. So from estimates and invoices through to getting paid, your businesses can use Zoho Books. And bank feeds pull in transactions automatically, and reconciliation is straightforward. It handles multi-currency, there's asset tracking, there's project accounting, there's 70 plus reports, you name it, all of that is there as part of Zoho Books, which means a business can always keep track of their financial health. And critically, it is HMRC recognized. Isn't that badge very important? It is, right? It matters. So your clients can trust that they can use and submit their returns through Zoho Books. And if they do that, they're doing it right. The next one is $1 million question. People keep asking us, you have all of this in Zoho Books, why is it free? Now, let me explain this to you, right? Zoho Books is free. We have a free plan, especially for sole traders. And this question keeps coming to us a lot in our events, in person, and webinars and everything. At Zoho, we have this philosophy. There are free plans across almost most of the products. It is a strategic choice. It's definitely not a marketing gimmick that we want to show the world, right? It's a strategic choice at Zoho. Most products have a free plan. And it is not a limited trial period, right? It's a deliberate decision. We want to remove the friction of cost for businesses because we aim on technology adoption rather than, selling and revenue making. And when I say free for a sole trader, what I genuinely mean is we are completely free for a sole trader. There is no cap on the invoices. For example, people ask us, hey, then it means 20 invoices, and then is it not free? But that's not the case. With the free plan, Zoho Books offers up to 1,000 invoices per year on the free plan. And in fact, Ramita can share the pricing links and the sole trader links as well on the chat as handouts for you. And this is more than enough for a vast majority of sole traders to be using. In fact, I saw a question about affordable packages, right, for businesses, if they're using spreadsheets versus bridging software versus an accounting software. And when they get it free, why not use it, right? There is no catch on the transactions. It's absolutely available for them for adoption. And that's why this is there. Now, for accountants in this session, this particular topic of free is significant. Why? Because you can confidently recommend this HMRC recognized Zoho Books to even your smallest clients without worrying about them hitting a paywall through the financial year, right? It's not for 1-2 months, which is free. It's free throughout. And there was even a question of affordable package that I said, and that's the answer for you right here. Now, instead of just talking through the slides, what I did is, given the time, we've created a small 4-minute video for you as to exactly how a sole trader can go on to Zoho Books and file their MTD for IT and send quarterly updates. So I would allow Ramita to play the video for you, so exactly 4 minutes, and then we'll be back.
As the first step, let's enable Making Tax Digital for income tax. Go to Settings. Under Taxes and Compliance, select Taxes. Under Taxes stream, under Other Taxes, select Income Tax. In the Income Tax page, click Connect to HMRC. In the pop-up, choose Admin if you're the business owner submitting the quarterly updates to HMRC through Zoho Books. If you choose Admin, you will have to enter the national insurance number issued by each MRC and proceed further. Or choose Agent if you are an accountant submitting the quarterly updates on behalf of your client. Ensure that you are authorized as an agent by each MRC before submitting the updates. If you choose Agent, you will have to enter the agent registration number issued by each MRC, national insurance number issued by each MRC to your client, the postcode of your client's business for verification, and proceed further. For the purpose of this video, let's select Admin. Enter the national insurance number, read and agree to the terms and conditions, and click Continue to each MRC's website. Go ahead and click Continue. Click Sign into the HMRC online service. Enter the required credentials and click Sign In. To allow your software to connect with HMRC, click Give Permission. You'll be redirected to your Zoho Books organization. In the Making Tax Digital for Income Tax page, select the business name that is registered with HMRC. Your business details will be displayed. Verify the details and click Save. You can now prepare and submit your quarterly updates to HMRC directly from your Zoho Books organization. To prepare your quarterly updates, you will need to fetch the obligations from HMRC into Zoho Books. In your Zoho Books organization, go to Income Tax on the left sidebar. In the Making Tax Digital for Income Tax page, click Fetch Details from HMRC. The quarterly submission periods will be fetched from HMRC and displayed in Zoho Books. Note, once you fetch your quarterly updates, you cannot disconnect or modify your business name until the updates are finalized and submitted to HMRC. Select the quarterly update period you want to submit to HMRC. In the Generate and Finalize Quarterly Update page, under the Map Accounts tab, you will have to map the accounts in Zoho Books to the respective categories in the quarterly update. The available categories are Period Income, Period Expenses, and Period Disallowable Expenses. Here, Zoho Books will automatically map related accounts to each corresponding category. You can also click here to add additional accounts to each category. In the pop-up under Recommended Accounts, the most relevant accounts will be filtered based on your transactions. Or you can go to the All Accounts section and select the required accounts. Zoho Books will calculate the amount for each category based on the transactions recorded under the accounts for the respective period. Once you've lacked the required accounts with the categories, click Save and Generate. Under the Review tab, verify the amounts under each category. Note, any changes made to the transactions will be reflected in the return until it is finalized. Once the return is finalized, no further changes can be made, even if transactions are created or updated within the return period. After verifying, click Finalize Return. In the pop-up that appears, click Finalize Update. The respective quarterly update will be marked as finalized. Next, let's submit the quarterly updates to HMRC. Before submitting, ensure that your Zoho Books organization is connected to HMRC. If not, reconnect to HMRC to submit the updates. To submit, go to the Making Tax Digital for Income Tax page and click Send Update at the top right corner. The quarterly update will be sent to HMRC and its status will be marked as submitted in Zoho Books.
Thank you for this, Ramita. Thank you so much. Yes, moving on. I hope you can still hear me, right? Okay. Cool. The next one is we've seen about the technology, we've seen about what Zoho Books offers in terms of the pricing plan, etc. And now let's get to how we can support you for every step of the way, right? We know getting to your clients on a new platform isn't simple, right? It's just not about the software. It is about the support you provide, your hand-holding, ensuring that nobody falls through the cracks. All of that is very, very important. So for that, we have free product webinars and regular sessions for both sole traders and agents. We also have a dedicated partner team, and that's led by Reshma, who is the moderator for this event. So they can help you and your firm onboard, and then at the same time support your clients as well. We also have help resources available 24/7. We have guides, videos, FAQs. We have support by email, chat, and call support as well. And you don't have to figure all this out alone. We're here for you. That's exactly what we wanted to say. And the most important part, if you're an accountant or a bookkeeper, we have a dedicated partner program. And when I end the session, I'm going to give you a QR code of how you can scan and be a part of it, which means Reshma's team will get in touch with you and they will explain to you about the benefits of it and how you can get onboarded as a partner, right? Now, next, let's move on. We saw about Zoho Books. Now, let's move on to Zoho Practice. For accountants and bookkeepers in specific, right? So Zoho Books is for businesses, limited companies, sole traders, all of the business types. Zoho Books is available for VAT, IT, corporation tax, and final accounts. Now, what about the accountants and bookkeepers who manage those accounts, right? That is exactly where Zoho Practice comes into play. Zoho Books is for your clients and Zoho Practice is for you, accountants and bookkeepers. It's a dedicated practice management software built to streamline your entire practice workflow and also helps you collaborate with your own clients. And when it comes to MTD IT at scale, it completely changes your game. And let me show you how. First, I'll walk you through the basic features of Zoho Practice and then tell you what is there in MTD IT in Zoho Practice. So there's a centralized client management system, which means you can import all your client details and see them, have a consolidated view of your clients. You have an unified document repository, which means there is a safe, secure place where you can store all your documents. And in fact, it's even integrated with Zoho Sign, which means there is secure signing of documents as well that you can do within Zoho Practice. There is timesheets and billing and task management, which is within your practice firm. You can allocate tasks and manage your entire team through the task management. Now, we've also introduced late last year's ledger and work papers as part of Zoho Practice. And there is also a feature where you can send compliance alerts from your Zoho Practice to the Zoho Books. So the main part about Zoho Practice is, like I told you earlier, it tightly integrates with Zoho Books. So you can manage your own firm on Zoho Practice, and then you can look at the insights of your clients from Zoho Books on Zoho Practice as well, because it tightly integrates. And of course, for your clients, there is a secure client portal as well as part of Zoho Practice. So these are the high-level features of Zoho Practice. Now, moving on to what exactly we do in MTD. Like I told you, because Zoho Practice integrates with Books, you get to see a consolidated view of MTD insights of your clients as part of Practice. You can request documents from your clients for MTD for IT. And again, there is tasks, there is custom views for MTD and everything that we've done. And these are all still in early access for MTD in terms of Zoho Practice. If you want to get access to it, please send us an email or please send a note to Ramita on the chat. And the latest feature that we've introduced on Zoho Practice is you can send alerts to your clients through WhatsApp. Yes, so there is a WhatsApp integration as well that has been done to Zoho Practice, which means your clients are never going to miss a deadline. You will not miss a deadline. You can easily send your alert to your clients. Again, this is again in early access as well. If you would need access, please reach out to us for it. So this is exactly how you can ace your MTD with Zoho Practice. Now, we saw about Zoho. We saw a little bit about the basics of MTD, how Zoho Books helps, how Zoho Practice helps. And let's move on to how you can become a Zoho partner. And this is specifically for the finance leaders out here. You can be an accountant, you can be a bookkeeper, or a finance consultant who's managing clients. This is how you become a Zoho partner and why you become a Zoho partner. we can help you manage all your clients through free access to about 50 plus Zoho applications that we have. And once you are evaluated and you're on board as a Zoho partner, then you can be listed as part of our partner directory on the website, which means that is another stream where leads can get access to you as well, wherever you are based. There is priority support and access that you get in terms of the product features, and in terms of some of the events like this. You get exclusive early access to any new product features that we release or product launches that we do. And of course, you get extensive free training and certification as part of the partner program as well. So all of these are benefits, and the right champ for this is Reshma. She drives our partner program for UK and Europe. And feel free to scan this QR code and submit your details so that her team can get back to you on this.
Thanks, Cynthia. You captured it really well.
Thank you, Reshma. And that's about it. I think I've covered it all, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, that was the poll that we had. And I think more than 50% of them answered it, if I'm wrong, which means we're going on the right track. Everybody is aware, right? That was the first poll, if I'm not wrong. And finally, I would like to thank all of you. There are some important links and contact details that Pramita is going to post here. And before that, don't leave. I'm sure we're going to give you a lunch break, but there's going to be a beautiful session out there that's coming right after lunch. While I spoke about how technology can help, nothing like hearing a real life experience, right? So we have H from Sigma Accounting, who's going to talk exactly about how they are implementing all of the best practices in their firm and for their clients. So you get to see a real use case, a real playbook right after lunch. So stay tuned for that. But once again, thank you so much for being patient. I think this is the 4th session, if I'm wrong. Thank you for listening to this, and I hope you found this useful. Yeah, over to you, Reshma.
Thank you, Cynthia. I think you captured it really well. That's a lot to cover in the short time. We do have a couple of questions also. I'll probably take a minute to probably address them. Can we see the final declaration and how the self-assessment would be filed? Elizabeth, we have a couple of features still to be rolled out. So the end of year filing, the PS will be coming shortly. The teams are working on it, and the idea is to roll it out in the next 1 to 2 months. Today, you can manage your sole trader income and expenses in one organization. And if you're a landlord, you have to manage it in a separate organization. But we are also trying to figure out if you can manage both sole trader and landlord in one single organization. So that's also on the roadmap for us. That will also be coming up in a month or two's time. Another question that comes up is, okay. Does Zoho only have one link for either bookkeeper or accountant? That is, if I link as the bookkeeper for a client, can their accountant? Yeah, this has come up in the chat also. Yeah. So today, the free plan supports 2 users. So if you're a business owner, you can invite your accountant or a bookkeeper. But if you have a bookkeeper, then I would recommend you to add your bookkeeper to your Zoho Books account. And maybe the accounting firm can probably start off the Zoho Practice. If you are using Zoho Practice, then you can invite up to 5 users in your practice to manage the books of clients. So that way, you can have multiple people looking at the books of account of a client. But you need to have Zoho Practice and Zoho Books both together. And if you have any more questions on that, you can feel free to drop us an email to accountants@eu.zohocorp.com. We have a team for UK. And we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have.
One more question is there, Reshma. Can you have the sole trader and property income in the same account? If yes, how do you enter the income and expenses separately?
Right. So today, the way how we have built the software, you need to manage it in 2 separate organizations, but there is a lot of requirements that are coming where businesses may have to manage in one single org. So the teams are working a solution so that you will be able to manage your income from your sole trader business and your property in one single organization itself. It's not there yet, but it will be coming soon.
But I want to really thank them. They've been very interactive on the chat and the questions. So heartfelt, thank you for that. Grateful.
Nice.
And thanks for the opportunity.
So yeah. Thank you so much.